Hello, 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 and my sincere apologies for being a few minutes late to start this live stream. If you are here with me live, thank you for joining me. If you are watching me on the replay, then I'm glad I don't have to apologize to you too for being late because you're not here live. I had some tech issues before I started recording a podcast interview with a delightful guest, and I didn't want to shortchange our interview. So I made the decision to be a little bit late for this. So let's get right to it. This week's episode on the Driven Woman Entrepreneur podcast was so exciting for me because I have been a follower, a fan, a subscriber, and a student of Tara Newman for some time. I think when you first start your solopreneur business, whether you are a coach, a consultant, a creative, a service provider, or an expert of some sort, oftentimes you get into what social media platform should I be on? Who is my ideal client? What is my offer? How am I going to create content and put it out in the world so people will know I exist? And some of them want to work with me. But what most of us do not do from the very beginning, and usually by the time we figure it out down the road, we just wish we had, hand raised, is focusing on profit as well as passion and purpose. The women that I tend to attract and love to work with are often very purpose driven. They tend to be very passionate about helping people in their zone of genius, but they are not always paying attention to the bottom line while they're building their business. And this is absolutely true of me too. I was very passionate about starting my previous business and starting my current business. And it's almost as though I thought my passion and my sense of purpose to help this particular group of people in this particular way was enough to make me successful. Well, actually, it's kind of it's not an either or, it's a both and. I was successful, I am successful, I have been successful, but it has been at a cost. And the cost is that because I wasn't paying attention to the bottom line sooner, it took me a lot longer to hit the markers that I was going for. I didn't invest in the right things at the right time. I overspent on things that did not move the needle in my business. And I was also very susceptible to being influenced by others. Case in point, starting a business, what so many female solopreneurs are paying attention to in the beginning really has almost no impact on their bottom line. For example, their logo, their brand colors. We all seem to want to spend a lot of time coming up with our marketing message, our ideal client avatar, our offer, our social media posts, our content creation. And while all of that is important, none of that is going to amount to a hill of beans if you are not paying attention to revenue and expenses. To the point where a lot of female solopreneurs who appear to be successful to others, and may even be selling their coaching or consulting to others to create that same level of success. Behind the scenes, they're struggling big time. I cannot tell you the number of female solopreneurs who are generating plenty of revenue, but they are literally living paycheck to paycheck in their business. They are literally biting their fingernails, if not their cuticles, waiting for their invoices to be paid so that they can pay their team. And this is not at all unusual. Now, because we feel embarrassed about these things, we don't talk about these things to others. We think we're the only one, and we're not. So when I interviewed Tara Newman for the Driven Woman Entrepreneur podcast, she really opened my eyes to some things that I simply was not aware of. For example, 88% of women who have their own business are earning less than $100,000 in revenue. So all of these online celebrity coaches, marketing gurus, web celebs are talking about, I can get you to six figures. And a lot of them, an increasing number of them, are saying, I can help you get to seven figures. And some are even saying eight figures. But what they're not saying is what it actually takes to get there. What they're not revealing is the privilege and the resources and the support that they had to get there that the person they're selling their program or course to does not have, and they will most certainly not achieve the same outcome. So paying attention to the bottom line from the beginning means embracing what Tara refers to as a profit first philosophy. Now, profit first is actually not Tara's. She didn't invent it. It's I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to try. I think it's Mike Michalowicz. It's his philosophy. It's his program. It's his structure, and she's been trained and certified in it. But here's the thing: if you put profit first, you're not going to have any less passion. You are not going to experience any less purpose. You're going to be able to have a successful business and sustainable success. Everybody has heard the numbers. Like, I don't know what the current numbers are, but like a huge majority of people who start a small business fail at that business. Everybody has heard this. When you say you're starting a small business, people are like, oh, okay, great. I wonder what you'll be doing in 6 months, because you're probably going to fall flat on your face. And a lot of us do. But why is that? A lot of it has to do with the fact that we don't know what it takes to be successful on a sustainable basis from the get-go. What's also true is that a lot of women, even women business owners, believe that they suck at money. Making money, keeping money, they just think they suck at it. And now there's an increasing number of coaches who are offering to help you with your money mindset, with your money blocks, with your money troubles, with your money trauma. And I'm sure some of them are very, very good. But while mindset is important when it comes to money, we also have to have the foundations of financial literacy to go with it. Because if you do not know anything about revenue, expenses, profit, the bottom line, if you don't know anything about that, there's no way that you're going to be able to have a successful business simply by fixing your money mindset. Your money mindset has more to do with what you think is possible and what you will allow yourself to earn and keep. But you have to be able to have the skills to learn how to earn it and keep it to begin with. Otherwise, your money mindset is completely irrelevant. And it's not your fault. That was one of the other things that came out in my interview with Tara Newman, is that the majority of women who own a business earn less than $100,000 in revenue. That's before taxes, before expenses, gross revenue. I was somewhat surprised by that. And I think I'm surprised because there's so many people who are talking about 100,000, a million, and beyond, that obviously maybe everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid, but they're certainly not getting the result from that Kool-Aid. So she also revealed during her interview that most women, most married women, most straight married women defer to their male partner when it comes to making financial decisions. But most straight married women are comfortable making the majority of the decisions with respect to charitable giving. And what went through my mind when she said that was, so many women say they have a business, but what they actually have is a hobby. And you might even say a charity because they're providing goods and services to people, but they're not earning enough money for that business to be profitable. So if you give valuable stuff away for free, you have a charity. If you don't charge people for valuable stuff, you have a hobby. But neither one of those is a business because a business requires profit. Now, I find that a lot of women are really uncomfortable talking about profit. They are uncomfortable talking about money because I believe we've been culturally conditioned to be uncomfortable. Something I shared with my email subscribers this week was that in the 90s, the Mattel toy company, makers of the iconic Barbie doll, which I'm sure every household has had one, at least one, uh, the Teen Talk Barbie, you could push a button or pull a string. I forget which way it was, but she would say things. She had a bunch of recorded things that she said. And one of the things that Teen Talk Barbie said in the 90s was that math class is so hard. Now, we do not need little girls to hear messages like that because little girls grow up to be big girls and eventually grown women. And if they have been trained to think that math is hard for them, they're not going to try to get better at it. And what is financial literacy but math? Basic math. We take away the drama, and what we're left with is math. And any woman can get better at that. So I'm really excited to be diving into learning more about this myself, learning more about the profit first mindset, learning how to infuse the profit first philosophy into my business because I already am dialed in on passion and purpose. Now, do I feel guilt, shame, self consciousness that I now want to pay more attention to profit? I do not. But I think it's been a process to get here. And let me tell you why. I drank the Kool-Aid. I believed I was not good at math. I believed I was not good at money. I believed I was not good at making money. I was not good at spending money. I was not good at making money decisions, even though I am a business owner. That mindset did not serve me because when we think we're not good at something, we have two choices. We can either decide to get better at it, or we can just treat that belief like a destination. I'm not good at money, therefore, I'm not good at money. And if we really believe that and we don't try to get better at it, it's impossible to have a successful, sustainable, profit rich business unless somebody else is infusing capital. And that's not the kind of business I have, and it's probably not the kind of business you have either. So I really want to encourage you to listen to the episode and share it with your biz bestie because this is what Tara Newman does for a living. She has studied this extensively. She's an organizational psychologist, a very smart and savvy woman. And she really helped me become aware of the fact that the number of female business owners continues to rise, and the majority of female business owners think they suck at money. What that tells me is that there are going to be more business failures and potentially more women eventually dropping below the poverty line. What we don't know about money is hurting us. So if we have a business, passion and purpose are not enough. We need to learn about profit as well. Not everybody needs to hire Tara. Not everybody can hire Tara. Not everybody needs to hire me, for that matter. But you can learn from both of us. If you don't already know Tara Newman, she has a wonderful podcast called The Bold Money Revolution. Listen to it regularly. If you are not already a listener, a subscriber, a follower of the Driven Woman Entrepreneur podcast, my podcast, I am going to be speaking more and more about money, because it is unacceptable to me that even though the number of female entrepreneurs continues to increase, without money skills, without financial literacy, those businesses are going to fail. They simply will. That's unacceptable to me. So please listen to the episode and please share it with a friend. We need to help spread the word, because more women need to be able to secure themselves financially through business ownership. I'm doing my part. Please join me in doing yours. Listen to the episode and share it with someone who needs to hear it. We're going to keep it short this week. That's all I have for you. And please join me again next week, because we're going to talk about what you can do now to set yourself up for success in 2023. Please join me.